Alright, what's going on YouTube? I have a completely new series of Unreal besides just kind of, hey, here's how to do this, or here's an overview of what I've done all over. This is from the top, mostly the top, except for some imported stuff that's kind of pre-done, like really complex stuff. If you guys want me to show you how to do it, sure. But like really in depth for like just one thing, which would be shooting our gun, we're gonna skip that. We're just gonna import an asset. All of this will be available for download if you ask me. But yeah, that's pretty much about it. Anyways, so here's what you do. We're going to create a new project, of course, and we are not going to create a first person. You can if you want, but come on, dude. Like, seriously? You want the best FPS game that you can do. And you don't want floating arms and piece of crap gun. So we're going to go third person. We're going to get full body, and it's pretty much just set up for what we want anyways. So we're going to create one just normal starter con with the starter content, of course. Maximum quality, unless you want that for some reason. I don't know. Or if you don't want starter content, whatever. And for me, it's gonna be desktop console. You can do mobile or tablet, but this is going to be like high quality, not necessarily high budget. So for those who are angry at me saying AAA, it's going to be AAA in the sense of quality, sure, depending on how good you are at this animation and model design, but mechanics, we're gonna get some pretty good mechanics. And we're going to call this, what are we going to call this? Um, how to make FPS. I'm going to create the project and import my assets, and I will be right back. Alrighty, so now that we've got our new, uh, oh my gosh, project. Yeah, I know what I'm doing. I totally know what I'm doing. Listen to me. Now that we've got our new project, we're going to start by just setting a few things up, and then we'll get right into it. So, for some reason, I've got a low frame rate, but we should be fine. Number one, we need to delete this because that's a third person, and we don't want third person. If you want third person or like a camera change, I could show you how to do that. We can totally integrate that, and it's super easy. But for now, we're kind of working on an FPS. This all works just fine for third person as well. You would just have to make some camera adjustments and kind of adjustments to certain mechanics, I suppose, or whatever. Um, but I'm more experienced with the FPS. Right. So, here's the two things I imported. Literally two things. You can import more stuff if you want, depending on what you're trying to do. But I imported the animation starter pack with all of this beautiful stuff, which we're totally going to edit to the death out of it. And we imported realistic blueprint weapons. And that is just to get us started just right off the bat with a weapon that's fully functional. Well, not fully functional to my standards. It doesn't have like good reload, and I'll show you guys all of what I mean very soon. But number one, we're going to well, I'll do it the more visual way instead of hotkeys and whatnot. But we'll take this to, actually, let's just create a new folder called blueprints, and that will be our folder which will contain all of our just basic blueprints for everything. And then we'll go back into here and copy. We don't need to copy anything else because we'll just be referencing it, but we just need to copy the character because we're going to be re-editing. We're going to be editing him a lot. So I'm going to copy there, and always save, Control S, that just saves the map as far as I know. Then we're gonna open this up, and I always drag my tabs right here because I got used to it, and I got used to it, and I like it much better. So we've got all this stuff, and you're gonna be like, oh my goodness, it's too much. But it's not really. It's if you've never really looked into this, it's just plain English. So let's just say something real simple. Um, Input action jump, which is the space key. Jump. When it's pressed, you jump. When it's released, you stop jumping. Like, that's it. Movement, a little bit more complex with rotators and everything that you get and receive and blah 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 and um, blah 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 blah. I mean, I know what all this is, but like, it's just more like this is kind of basics. But yeah, and then that's just for the touchpad. If anyone doesn't have a mouse, I believe, or something, I don't really know. I've never used that, but as far as I know, that's not crucial to anything. But yeah, we don't actually need this. Sorry. Actually, no. We I think we do need this. Cause see, initiate attributes would just do the health. And there's a lot of things in here that are like, yeah, we don't need. Number one is if you didn't see my other video, I hate this guy. Like, I hate him. For one, never use real time, and for two, I hate this guy. So we are not going to use this guy. We're going to use this guy from the animation starter pack. And you're gonna be like, well, it's this same guy from the third person. Yeah. Well, anyways, not really. Same look, but there's some things different. And we're gonna use his apropos blueprint animation blueprint, excuse me. And you're like, oh sweet, we've already got him set up. Yeah. About that, when you play, yeah, no. Think about this, guys. The camera's looking that way. It doesn't see anything down here. A lot of people would be like, oh yeah, maybe we can see that. And that's probably what you would, that's what it would be in real life. You'd keep it kind of down at your hip, and you can see it from your peripheral vision, but that's not exactly how games work. So what it's going to look like to everyone else is that we're aiming down sights, but really it just looks like it's at our hip, per se. And then when we, right click, we'll move the camera over, which is a very complex thing because of the weird translations and everything that this thing has. So we're gonna compile. Really, bro? I hate it when it does that. So we're gonna compile this, and we are going to delete the camera boom. Unparent the camera first, but we're gonna delete the camera boom, and then we're just gonna call it normal, plain old camera. And we're going to parent this to the head, because we want it to be like, a real FPS. Set all of the location values to 0, and the rotation values, set all to 0, except this, change it to 90, and we should be fine. Now, we're going to move it up and a little bit because we actually will see a little bit of his, through his skill and whatnot, so we're going to move it about there, I'm assuming. That looks about, well, no. We're gonna unlock all of those, and we're gonna move it back just a bit. Oh. Right on. That looks about good. And we're gonna edit a lot of stuff, so bear with me if it's not perfecto on immediate trial, because it's not like everyone just gets this perfect. And then we need to delete. Okay, so there's a lot of these variables that you're like, wow, there's a lot of stuff. Yeah, let's look at this. Super easy. Yeah, super easy. Wow, that's super easy. Guess what? It's super duper easy. Oh my gosh. I think that's the most complex. Oh, wait, my bad. That's so easy, and we don't even need that, because that just means it's always there. And we're never going to really need that variable because, for one, I don't think it's even here. Is it? No, it's not. Weapon is ready. I don't see you. I don't see you sitting around here. What's that a reference to? Is that just like strictly on this. Yeah, it's strictly on there, so we don't even need that. So we're going to delete these. Well, we're going to delete this and that and that and that and that. And then we're going to compile. We're going to get all these errors. And it's like, oh crap, what did I do? You did exactly what I told you, and what I told you is the right thing to do. Also, we're going to... we are going to delete this in the future, but just not right now. Yes. And so we can completely take out all of these. And, oh, actually, we're going to need that branch. But we're going to keep it true for now. We are going to need that branch in the future. And then that we'll mess with the damage system later, but that's just not, no. And we need none of this right here. Boom. And then we'll drag all of, oh gosh. And it says initiate attributes only on server, but we don't have that installed, so we're not going to need to initiate no attributes on server. Oh yeah, by the way, you might want to, hold on. Weapon is ready. Where's that used? Where are you? What? Wow, try attack. Yeah, about that. Oops, my bad. Right. So, and the try attack is just going to be always true, except yeah, because we're not gonna mess with the try attack here. We're gonna mess with it here. That's why we're leaving that branch there. So it's having it's checking for twice. Anyways, so yeah, that's I just like to keep everything very compact. It's a really weird habit of mine. Like everyone's like, I just want to see the branches just a little bit. I mean, like usually I'm just like all like this, but for the sake of the video, some people want to see the branches, so I'll just keep it spread apart just a wee bit. Okay, so now we've got no errors, so we should be able to go in and play, except, excuse me, we need to do a couple things. We need to enable socket snapping, and we need to third person blueprint, or yeah, and then go to the blueprints in the game mode. We're going to change the game mode to our character, sorry, should be, we're just gonna name him, excuse me, rename Bro Dude. Totally swag right there. That's swag so real, mini wow. And we're gonna have him, and we'll not mess with any of this because we may do stuff with that later. But yeah, so now all that's done, we're going to get, excuse me, more. That wasn't real. That was just, we're going to mess immediately with how it looks. How does it look? Yep. Just like I thought. It doesn't usually actually do that. That's trip. That's that trip though. Oh, sorry. My bad. And we're gonna rotate it around its X90. Right? Right. Really, bro? Um, 180. Because seriously, oh wait, I think 180 is it. No. Oh my gosh. Hold up. Let's lock the rotation. Boop, 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 boop. Okay, there's 90. So if we're at 90, and then we go to 90 degrees there, it's really weird. I thought I had this. Okay, so we need to go yet another 90 degrees, right? Jeez, what are you doing? Okay, that's better, but it's like got this really weird tilt to it. Oh, no wonder. I forgot to do something. We need to enable the use pawn control rotation, and then go to this, and then just search yaw if you've yaw. Y'all need to get your stuff right. Anyways, and that should be proper, but it's gonna flip it again, right? No, it's not. Good. The camera's a little shaky. Don't know why that is. Oh, geez. Well, that's something to fix, right? Right. Okay. And you know, some of that stuff is going to be fixed when we get into the blueprints. Yes, blueprints, because I can totally think of the word. Animation blueprint specifically. And then so the animation blueprint that we're going to be looking into is we're going to dupe this. Actually, should we have used him? No, we shouldn't have used him. What am I thinking? I don't know what I was thinking. I'm thinking animation. Okay, so we're gonna dupe. Yeah, dupe it. We're just gonna duplicate it here. But it's gonna be bro dude can walk. Bro dude can walk, right? And we're gonna open that up and we're going to do a lot to it. So, excuse me. Number one thing is we want to be able to look around like up and down, because I don't know if you didn't see, but like we could look up and down and around, but like our arms didn't follow, and our gun's not even the gun's not even attached. So we need to fix some of that. And number one way to fix the gun thing is we need to go to the right hand, add a socket, and we're gonna call it right hand socket. Now that's whatever you want if it's in compliance with what this is called. Ta-da! Because if that's not the same thing, then it ain't gonna work. So it has to be the same socket. Because that's saying second you start the game, attach this rifle to the socket and set the equipped weapon to the return value of the attaching the rifle, which is the rifle, and then attach it to the mesh. So, and the socket name on the mesh. Excuse me. And then just to make sure, and you're gonna want to do this with most of your sockets, if it's like an item that's going to be attached and you know exactly what what it looks like, or if you want it to look a specific way. If you don't want it to look a specific way, then you don't need to worry about it. You just really don't need to worry about it. But if if you do want it to look a certain way, you're gonna have to change how why won't it let me rotate, buddy? Buddy, come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. Am I gonna have to just seriously? It doesn't matter. So we're gonna change our Z? No. Yeah, our yaw to 90. Right. I know what I'm doing. And then we are going to not do anything from there because we have to fix our idle pose because that's not the idle pose we want. And the way we change our idle, dang you, the way we change our idle pose, I don't know why it's still not letting me do that, is we're going to dupe a idle pose that is already made for us. It's going to be idle rifle iron sights. Yes. And then so we're going to find a content browser, and then we're going to duplicate that, and then we're going to name it whatever you want, but I'm going to name it idle FPS, and then it's right there. And then we're going to cut it down so that way we have Just one frame. Because if you play with it, let me just play it for you. I mean, seriously, imagine playing a game, an FPS game, with seriously, seriously. I mean, that wobble is insane. And I would never play. I would like immediately just give a game with this bad of a, camera sway like 10 points off, just out of 10, cuz like that would throw your game off so bad. So if you want to import your own custom animation, you can. Um that's totally great. I'm not going to do that right now. I don't have time. I do, but I'm just lazy. So we're going to set it to that, and then here is where we change our thing, but we want to unlock rotation so that we can get it very, very specific. And that's not specific enough. That's more specific. We also, dang it, we're going to need to change our translation because it's not right. It's not right. Okay, there we go. That's much better. It's whatever. No one's really gonna be. You can't really see that part of the hand, anyways, too much when you're playing. And I don't really have it to where when he shoots, he pulls the trigger, cause that is a lot, and I just don't. Wow. Yeah, I'm not gonna go into animating that much. I know how to animate, but I'm not like, bro. Let's make his trigger finger pull whenever he fires. Yeah, I could. That would be awesome and super fun, but I'm just way too lazy, and you guys may learn that about me during these videos. Anyways, so that's looking pretty solid. I like the way that looks. It looks pretty solid. We're gonna go to our am graph. We're gonna go to our locomotion state. Keep keep this in mind because we're going to do a lot to this. Anyways, so we're going to what? Yes, we're gonna go to the idle, and with that idle, we're gonna say bye bye, and we're gonna say hello to idle FPS, and just drag that in there. Play that. Compile. There's our new idle. So now when we play, dang it. Why you do this? That's because I didn't. I'm smart. No, 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 no. I am smart. I'm genius. I know what I did wrong. Bro, dude can walk. Compile. Play. We'll fix the camera. Don't worry. It's the camera's fault, not our animation blueprint's fault. So that looks pretty good. You could keep that if you wanted, but I mean, like that's what it would look like because the way we're gonna do it, it's not you're not gonna be able to see it like that, like the whole. Oh my gosh, that is shaking. That's driving me crazy. We're gonna actually fix that camera real quick though. Yeah, why you do this? Also delete that text because that does not need to be there. And you can see it when you look up. So we're going to tilt back and we're going to translate up. Yeah, please. Better. You can mess around with that a little bit more, and I totally am going to. So I hate the zoom, and we're going to change it to a much more legitimate first-person shooter-esque zoom, where it's actually aiming down the sights instead of just, wow, bro, nice muzzle and um, gun you got. I can see it really close. Yeah, we don't want that. And of course, it's not even center to the camera. I mean, kind of center, but I mean, really, that's not center enough. So we're gonna fix that for sure. For show, I would like to fix it just a little bit. That's better. I don't know why I can still clipping into my gun. Move that back just a little bit. All trial and error, man. That's a whole lot better. It's still gonna clip into your gun anyways. It's gonna clip into your gun. Oh my gosh, the quality. It almost looks like the quality of shading is more sharp on the gun than it actually is on the model. But yeah, so that's really cool though. You can look down at your character. We're not going to be getting that kind of clipping into the chin and head that you kind of see there at the very bottom of your screen because of the looking rotation that we're going to do very soon. Excuse me. And we're going to also create, oh my gosh, there's so much that we're going to do, but I'm going to save it for another episode. And